A show created by the fans for the
Get ready for an experience like no other from the creators of the Cheap Seats podcast. This is FF PodSquad. We're bringing you fantasy football like never before. This is fantasy for fans by fans, featuring the soon-to-be famous PodSquad sound-off. Now, here's your tour guide for this fantasy adventure, the fantasy guru himself, the big man, Aaron Spillman.
What is going on, everybody? I am the big man, Aaron Spillman, and this is FF PodSquad. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, and we are live. We got a great show for you guys today. Jam-packed, actually. I got a great guest coming on with us. But before we get going, I want to talk about, I said this last week, guys, and I'm going to say it again, the gaming app Treat. This is the gaming app for dogs. I mean, you're helping out shelter dogs with this, guys. Download the app and you get to pick what region. Right now, I'm helping out Lexington Pet Crew. And for every treat that I earn in the game, these treats get sent to these actual dogs. And you could also be a foster parent online from remotely on the game, donate on the game. If you don't have money, you can still play the game and earn treats. And these treats are sent to these dogs. You just pick whatever region you want to represent, and you pick a dog, and these dogs get these treats and the food that you donate. So once again, I'm gonna put it up here again. That's the Treat app. Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the app, guys. I guarantee if you're a dog lover, you guys will love this. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into it. Like I said, we got a jam-packed show. First and foremost, though, I want to introduce my guest co-host. He not only is he a card-carrying member of the PodSquad community, he's one of my oldest friends. I grew up with this dude. I've been knowing him for a pretty long time, pretty much my whole life. And I know he's a long-time veteran fantasy player. He's got a few championships under his belt. So his knowledge is definitely priceless to you guys. So without further ado, won't you please welcome in, he is the co-host of the Rough Bucks Sports Show, Big E, Eric Dunlap.
What is going on?
What's up, Big E? How's it going, man?
Going pretty good.
We've been talking, we're going to be previewing Thursday night football tonight, but we've been talking a lot and stuff. You've been in, how many leagues have you been in over the years, and how many championships have you been in over the years?
I've got 4 championships under my belt. I've played probably 10 different leagues.
10 different leagues, okay. And you've been playing for what, say 20 years maybe?
Probably since around 05 or so.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Eric, he was the one who dethroned me in the Gurus redraft. If everybody knew that, I was going for a historical three-peat, and the Legend Killer prevailed, and he took me down. I would go, like I said, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool trying to go for a three-peat. I mean, getting back-to-back championships was pretty awesome. But the Legend Killer prevailed. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we shut up that tribal chief.
All right, man. Well, let's get into the show. We're going to, like I said, we're going to be previewing Thursday night football and our fantasy 4-pack this week. So let's get into it. For those of you who don't know what fantasy 4-pack is, this is a 4-pack of questions revolving around fantasy football, and it just happens to be we're previewing Thursday night football tonight. So let's get to it. Number one. Who do you think will be the top fantasy scorer for Thursday night football between the Cardinals and the Seahawks tomorrow night?
I got to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's been tearing it up the first 3 games.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I regret not taking JSN and across all my leagues. I've had opportunities, and I actually went for his teammate, Kenneth Walker, who I'm going to say I think has a really good game tonight. But my pick for as far as scoring the most fantasy points tonight is actually that Seattle defense. They've seen over the years, they seem to have Kyler Murray's number. I said this last week about Kyler, and I was actually wrong. Kyler usually plays really good against the 49ers, and he usually shits the bed against the Seahawks. I'm going to go with that, say he shits the bed this week, and the Seahawks defense and special teams is your fantasy leader for Thursday night football.
Close but no cigar. They just about knocked off the Niners.
Yeah. I mean, but, fantasy-wise, I thought Kyler would have been a lot better. I think he only scored like 13 points maybe. It was a defensive struggle. That 49er defense is definitely legit. All right. So question 2, is JSN, is he the best Buckeye receiver in the NFL right now?
I got to say yes. It's really close with him and Emeka Buka.
Yeah.
But I
Emeka
think
is tearing it up.
But I think Jigba's got him beat.
Real quick, I've been seeing a lot of this. And real quick, I just want to ask you, we're going to jump off the rails real quick. I seen a trade offer on one of the fantasy group pages. It was Jamar Chase for Emeka Ibuka. If you had Emeka Ibuka, would you take that trade?
Absolutely not. Not the way
Really?
the Bengals offense is going.
So you would rather keep Emeka Ibuka than have Jamar Chase, who was our Triple Crown winner from the wide receivers last year.
If he had a better quarterback or offensive line, I would say in a heartbeat. But the way the Bengals offense is going now, I don't think I would.
It would be really hard for me not to take that trade. Jamar Chase is probably the best receiver in the NFL right now. But it would be really, really tempting to take that trade. All right, let's get back onto it real quick. I had a little side question. Between JSN and Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously your answer, JSN. Who will have the better game tomorrow night? Obviously, you think JSN, which I agree with you. Number 3, with James Conner out for the year, how are you viewing Trey Benson for the rest of the season?
If I pick him up, it's going to be on the bench. Right as of right now, he's not living up to the.
I'll be honest with you. I expect him. I expect him to be an RB1 by the end of the season. I mean, in my opinion, right now he's third in targets on his whole team, and now he got the RB1 all to himself. He's probably going to take the targets that James Conner had. This team don't really spread the ball out very much. I mean, Trey McBride is your target guy, and then you got second is Harrison. But your third guy was Trey Benson, and I think with the volume he's going to command, I think there's a chance he could be an RB1. I'm not saying that I would want to start him right away in this game, but I do think there's a chance that he's the RB1 an RB1 by season end. Top 12, top 15 possibly.
I'd give him a shot on the bench, but I wouldn't jump the gun right now.
All right. Okay. Number 4. Are there any sleepers from this team you would want to stash away for later, or that you're high on, and that you're, maybe you want to pick him up on your bench for later in the season?
One that jumps out to me is Torrey Horton, because he does play special teams as well, and then he's getting some looks at the receiver spot, so he might be a candidate there.
Yeah, I noticed Horton. He's playing a little bit in the slot, and he's getting some touchdowns. He's getting looks. His target share isn't high right now, but I think if he keeps on building on his opportunities, I think he'll have some more targets. Definitely coming in. A couple other guys that I want to mention. Right now he's injured, but Elijah Araujo down the line, I think he's going to be the tight end one with the Seahawks. Right now, the Seahawks don't utilize their tight end a lot, but I think with the athleticism of Araujo and, just the way he's able to get space in the seam and stuff, I think he'll be able to definitely command some targets down the road. And the other guy with Arizona, with James Conner being out, George Holani, he is the backup to I'm sorry, I take that back. He is the backup on the Seahawks. He's the third running back. Right now, Charbonnet is been banged up, but I think he's good to go for Thursday. But George Holani, he could be somebody down the road with the injury history of Walker and Charbonnet. I think Holani could possibly be a nice little pickup down the road if injuries happen. All right, Eric, we're going to get into Pod Squad Sound Off. I want to invite everybody to come in. I'm putting the link in the comments right now. So come in and join the show, guys. And we are engaged. Guys, come on in. Don't be afraid. Join the show. Let's get into Sound Off, and we are going to start off with a Week 4 preview, and you're going to give me one quarterback you love and one quarterback you hate for Week 4.
Quarterback that I love is the homeboy Josh Allen, of course. I mean, they're facing the Saints. I think he's just going to tear them apart.
Yeah, the Saints aren't looking very good right now. Obviously, they're hurting at quarterback, and their defense is not very good right now as well. I could see Josh Allen tearing it up. Although I could also see James Cook tearing it up as well.
Oh, yeah. And
so
then,
who do you hate?
Jake Browning on Monday night against the Denver Broncos defense.
Yeah, that Denver Broncos defense is one of the tops in the league. If they don't have a game plan in place, it's going to be a long night for Jake Browning and that whole Bengal defense on Monday night. My love for week 4, I love Jordan Love going in at Dallas. Dallas has given up one of the some of the most points to quarterbacks this year. And I hate Drake May versus Carolina this week. I know people are saying Carolina defense is atrocious, but against quarterbacks this year, through the first 3 games, which is, I know it's a small sample size, Carolina's been one of the top defenses against quarterbacks. Drake May could be in for a long night. And the Pod Squad picks Marcus Mariota at the Falcons. This is a big one. It's a hot take. Marcus Mariota. And on the flip side, they are hating Dak Prescott against that Green Bay defense. Can't say I disagree with that. That Green Bay defense has been pretty stout as of late.
And Micah can come into Dallas and get some revenge.
Oh yeah, and it's at Dallas. Yes, that's definitely got to be marked on Micah's calendar. All right, let's go with one love and one hate for your running backs this week.
I love the Saquon Barkley match against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, okay.
And the one that I hate, you're going to like this one. Jahmyr Gibbs against the Browns defense.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to my pick, and I'll actually tell you the one that I hate worse. But first, I'm going to tell you my love. I mentioned him, James Cook. James Cook has been eating it up, and I could actually see this being a game where Buffalo gets out to a large lead early, and James Cook gets to eat. I'll tell you right now, I didn't think that it was possible for James Cook to keep the pace that he did last year with the touchdowns. But as of right now, I'm eating crow, man. He's been a stud.
Yeah, and if he gets one touchdown, he's going to break a record for the franchise. Most consecutive games with a touchdown.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's probably, whose record is that? I'm going to guess Thurman Thomas.
I'm not sure if it's Thurman Thomas or O.J. Simpson, or I'm not real sure.
Okay. Well, my hate, you mentioned the Lions going up against my Cleveland defense. I don't hate Jahmyr Gibbs. I actually like Jahmyr Gibbs this week. I hate David Montgomery this week. He's more between the tackles runner. I think Gibbs could get out there and catch the ball a lot more. So he's got a little bit more value. It's really hard for me to hate Gibbs in any game with his with the passing game he got. All right, so the Pod Squad has picked Alvin Kamara at your Buffalo Bills.
They love it.
Both said, yeah, they love Alvin Kamara, which I do too. This could possibly be one of those games where we see Alvin Kamara get 10 receptions for 100 yards, possibly 50 yards rushing. Because I got news for you. I think the Saints are going to be playing from behind most of the game. And they hate Travis Etienne at the 49ers this week.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they held, James Conner got hurt in that game, but they held that running back core for Arizona in check for most of that game. All right. Who is your one love and your one hate for your receivers for week 4?
I love the Puka Nacua match up against the Colts defense.
Okay. Colts have a pretty tough defense, but their secondary is a little bit weak right now. I
Yeah.
like Puka just about every week. So,
Oh yeah.
So
And the
him.
one that I absolutely hate this week, Tyreek Hill up against the Jets.
Okay. Elaborate a little bit. I want to hear your thinking. This is
I
at
mean,
Miami, right?
I'm not sure if it's in Miami or New Jersey,
Okay.
but the Jets are a little bit underrated on defense, I think.
Yeah, I like their head coach. I love who's their head coach? What's his name? He was the DC for the Lions last year. I can't think of his name right offhand, but I definitely love him. Abby, James, if you're in the comments here, come on in and join the show. Don't be afraid. Heck, I'm ugly. They say I got a face for radio. I'm still out here, guys. Come on in. All right. So where are we? Oh, okay. We are with me this week. I love Quentin Johnston at the Giants. Quentin Johnston's been on a pretty big tear as of late. I don't know if anybody really paid attention, but this guy's second in receptions and first in touchdowns for his team. And he's had double-digit fantasy points each week. And he's actually tied with Lad McConkey in receptions and targets, just behind Keenan Allen. That was kind of surprising. I thought Keenan Allen was coming back more to be that veteran, leader in the locker room type. I figured he'd still have some games where he'd be, flex worthy, this and that. But the old man still got it, man.
I actually picked up Johnston in 2 leagues off the
Yeah, I
waivers.
love Johnston. I love Johnston. Johnston has been a monster so far. Just think if he could catch every ball he's got thrown to him. All right. I hate Michael Pittman at the Rams this week. Rams is one of the better defenses, and they've been holding wide receivers in check for most of the year. I don't know. Pittman just got his hands full this week, I think. And the Pod Squad community picks Emeka Egbuka. They love Emeka Egbuka going against the Eagles this week. The Eagles have actually showed a little bit of weakness in their secondary. I think Quinshon Mitchell, he's not been as great this year, and definitely their little safety they had last year is not doing all that great. And they hate, in the same game, right on the flip side, A.J. Brown at Tampa Bay. I don't disagree. A.J. Brown in 2 of the last 3 games has not hit double-digit points in fantasy. He's not had very many targets. And they just like to run the ball. Whether they're running with Hurts or they're running with Barkley, they just like to run the ball in Philly. So I could see A.J. Brown definitely having a bad week for sure. All right, let's get into your one love and one hate tight end for week 4.
Call me crazy on the love, but I like Kelsey up against the Ravens.
No, I don't hate that. Kelsey do. I mean, the Ravens are a top team, and a lot of times the Chiefs play their best games against the top teams. And the Ravens defense, I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention, but they don't really scare me this year.
No, not at all.
So I can see Kelsey definitely having a top 5 performance. So who do you hate this week?
if he plays Darren Waller against the Jets.
All right. You got any other body that you would hate? I'd hate their backup as well.
For the Fins.
No, for the for the Fins. Yeah, definitely for the Dolphins. Yeah. So my love this week, he's got off to a slow start, but he finally hit double-digit points in week 3, and I think he's going to carry that against the Steelers this week. T.J. Hawkinson. The Steelers have been one of the worst teams against tight ends this year. I think over the last 3 games, they've given up 13 receptions, 207 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If I'm correct, if I remember right. And my hate is Brenton Strange this week at the 49ers. 49ers are one of the toughest teams against tight ends. Fred Warner is probably one of the best cover linebackers in the NFL. And I just think Brenton Strange is going to have his hands cut out for him. All right. Tucker Kraft is the one love that our PodSquad community has going against Dallas this week. And their hate is Mark Andrews at Kansas City. Mark Andrews, to me, I'm just afraid of him just about every week because he could have a game where he scores 20, and then he could have a game where he scores 2. I mean, you never know. I mean, that guy costs people way too many games. All right.
Yeah,
Eric,
the big drop last year against the Bills.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Definitely. All right, let's get to our last little thing for our preview. Give me one player you're stashing for later on in the season.
Well, he's on the injured reserve right now, but I think when he comes back, he could be a significant player. Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Rashee Rice. Nobody talking about Brandon Ayuk right now. If he comes back healthy and motivated, that's my biggest thing. Is he going to be motivated? If he comes back healthy and motivated, yes, Brandon Ayuk could definitely soar up. And if he comes back this year around fantasy playoff times and he plays to his potential, I mean, you're looking at possibly a league winner off the waivers right now.
Yep.
But I'm not that big of a risky better, so that's I think I want somebody with a little bit safer floor, and my guy is Hunter Renfrow. I think Hunter, he's just now coming back through 3 games. He's steadily growing his target share. I think by mid-season or playoff times, Renfrow could be the receiving leader for the Panthers as far as receptions. He may not have it in yards, but he could definitely have 90 receptions for 750 yards and 3 touchdowns, which, would be great to have on your bench, during your bye weeks.
You think he can still get that with Bryce Young, though?
Yeah, I think so. I think Bryce Young's just going to have an up and down year. I think there's games, which we've already seen, where Bryce Young's going to look like that number 1 overall pick, but then there's going to be games where he's going to look like he should have been an undrafted free agent. And our fantasy community, the PodSquad community, picked, and this is the guy that I'm very high on as well, Blake Corum. He's the backup to Kyren Williams. He's pretty much a carbon copy to Kyren Williams. And he's he's an injury away from being that target hog or that volume hog. I mean, and as everybody knows in fantasy, volume is king. All right, so we're going to hand out our game balls from week 3. You had a very interesting one. I know you changed it, but I want to reveal it to everybody else, and I want to talk about it a little bit. Originally, your fantasy game ball for week 3 was Justin Herbert, and I'll go ahead and say it. I gave you a lot of crap, a lot of shit for it because last week, week 3, Justin Herbert didn't have the greatest game, but I will say, as far as the season goes, and if that's how you were looking at it, I don't hate it. Justin Herbert on the season, he definitely should be discussed as having a game ball in there a couple times this year, and he's definitely looking a lot better than he did last year. But let's go ahead and tell us who you changed it to. And I don't disagree with this one either. He's been on a tear the whole year too.
Yeah, so I actually got him on one of my fantasy teams. He had 17 carries, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 16 yards.
And that is
Jonathan
Taylor, Indianapolis Colts. I'll be honest with you. I love Jonathan Taylor, but going into this year's draft, he scared me to death. His injuries, I'm so scared that his ankles are just gonna explode on him again, and he's just going to fall off. So if I did have Jonathan Taylor on my team, I would most definitely be carrying DJ Giddens, his backup running back, as well. But he's been proving me wrong so far. I don't disagree with you. My game ball, however, goes to none other than Hunter Henry of the Patriots. Last week, he had 8 receptions for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns, 29 fantasy points. The guy was on fire this past week. And our PodSquad community, this one, and I'm going to shout out Jay. This was Jay's pick. The Vikings defense as a whole, 32 fantasy points. They had 2 touchdowns and 5 total turnovers, and they only gave up 10 points on the game. Hats off to that Vikings defense last week.
Hopefully they keep it up this week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this year, we're going to talk a little bit about the FF PodSquad Chopped Fantasy League. And for those of you who don't know or who is not in this league, the Chopped Fantasy League is basically, it takes the worst team each week and chops them from your league. You no longer exist. And what players you have on your team gets dropped to the waiver wire. And then each team gets to make a bid using their fab money on the players that have been dropped. So each week, each team that survives has a chance to get extremely, extremely dangerous. So without further ado, guys, I want to give you guys a real quick view of what we got so far through 3 weeks. As you all can see, this past week, week 3, the guru himself, I'm disappointed in myself and quite embarrassed. I have got chopped. So guys like Travion Henderson, Patrick Mahomes, they were up for grabs. And this is the rest of the standings. As you can see, these bottom 3 here, are the guys that have been chopped. So I want to wish good luck to the remaining 13. And I'm super excited to see who everybody chooses and who the
Now,
last Final Four.
after the waivers clear, can they pick someone up free agent without having to put money on it?
Okay, that I need to check in on that. I think, and I'm not 100%. I think with the sleeper app chop rules, I think you can only bid on players. I think you have to have a minimum of $1. I'm not 100%, but
Okay.
I think that's the way. So in this case, if that is the case, which each team got $1,000 for the whole year, you got to utilize that money wisely. I seen after week 1, somebody took 75% of their money and on one bid on CMC. Now,
Wow.
I'm not hating on it. I mean, if CMC's healthy the whole year, that's a great investment because he's probably going to finish as the number 1 guy. But if he gets hurt, you're screwed. But that's just a little clip from everybody. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves in the Chop League. Big E, I wish we could have got you in on it. I know you're in quite a few leagues as it is already. These type of leagues I try to stay open to because they are novelty leagues, just like the best ball. So I try to stay open to it because one, it's something different I can learn to take to the table the next season, and two, I'm doing it for fun anyway. So if I lose, I lose. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. It sucks that I lose, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, guys, we're towards the end of the show. I want to thank Big E for helping us out this week, being a part of the show, being our co-host this week. Big E, please tell everybody where they can find you and the Dot on your show, the Rough Bucks Sports Talk.
Go on Facebook and look for the Rough Bucks, and you will find us.
You heard it, guys. Find Big E and the Dot on the Rough Bucks Sports Show on Facebook. Give them a like and a follow. Check out their show, guys. Big E, we are going to let you go, and I'm going to talk just a little bit more before we get out of here. And it's been fun, man. Thank you for coming on.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me, but I did have one question for you, though.
Go ahead.
Who is your panic button?
Oh, we've been talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. If you do watch the show and you want to follow us, follow the FF Pod Squad. It's Fantasy Football Pod Squad group page on Facebook. We talk a lot of stuff on there. And one of the questions was my panic button for through 3 games. And I gotta say, right now I got a few on my teams. One of them being Chase Brown, and the other one being Drake London. What about you?
Well, I got Ashton Jeanty on there. He's only getting 3.1 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And if you follow the team, Zamir White's been doing a lot of the third down and long. So
yeah, I think Raider J, I think he would probably agree with you a little bit. I know Jay said Jeanty, Jeanty with the guy coming in. I know he was high on him coming in. Of course he would be. He's a Raider guy. He wanted this guy, but he he himself going into draft told me he's not drafting Genty because he sees the downfalls. And I agree with him. That O-line, Jay just said it. That O-line sucks, and his vision isn't all that great. But one stat I did read about Genty that I just absolutely loved. But it also goes that much more to tell you how sucky this Raiders O-line is he's averaging, what did you say, 3.3 yards per carry?
Yeah, 3.1.
He's averaging 3.1 yards per carry, but he's averaging 3.6 yards after contact. So that tells me that his offensive line sucks, but he's got the ability to be a game breaker if he can just get better help from that line. I don't know that I would want to push the panic button on him yet because, like all offensive lines, they do take a little time to gel. I do know the Raiders had some injuries to their offensive line, so I could definitely see that line getting a little bit better. So I'm not going to count Genty out quite yet. Out of the rookie running backs, though, right now, real quick, and then I'll let you out. Out of the rookie running backs, who are you most confident in going forward for the rest of the season?
I gotta go with Hampton right now.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Cam Scatterboo, but okay.
Cam Scatterboo would be another great choice, but he's just not quite there yet, I don't think.
I think Cam Scatterboo, obviously Tracy's down. He's hurt. So Scatterboo is definitely going to be the guy. Singletary is going to get some work there. You obviously know Brian Dayball's offense, and you know Singletary from Buffalo. So you know that he likes to use one back, but it could be the hot hand for the Giants. So we could see Singletary in there. But I agree with you, Amari and Hampton. The situation, especially with Najee Harris being out now, he definitely can be the RB1 going forward, and he should be probably at least an RB2 in fantasy going forward. All right, Big E, I'm going to let you go, and we are going to get this show on the road and get out of here, man.
All right, it's been a pleasure to be on your PodSquad.
All right, thanks, man. We'll see you again. Thanks. All right, guys, we are at the end of the show. I want to thank Big E, Eric Dunlap, again for coming on and helping us out with the show as our co-host. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. Again, guys, don't be afraid to come in on the show. I welcome it. We want you guys on the show during PodSquad Sound Off. Like I said, this is a show for the fans, by the fans. So don't be afraid to be on the show. Real quick shout out again. I said to Eric, don't forget to tune in to the Rough Bucks Sports Show on Facebook. Check him and the doc out. And that's it, guys. So we're going to get it out of here. And as always, guys, it's nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.